Like only in Yorkshire. Very good.
All right, then, that's today's lost word. Let's move on.
It is. Yes.
And talk to
Another
Nicole.
thing that's important today is it's World Refugee Day, and Nicole Malik is the head of corporate social responsibility at the Dubai-based humanitarian relief manufacturer NRS International, and she joins us here today. Good morning. Good afternoon, rather.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Well, you're here to talk about the hashtag Love Coats project, and it started today. Can you tell us a bit more about the project and where the idea came from?
Sure. I know we're talking about coats when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, so my apologies. But it's hashtag Love Coats, and it's jackets made by adolescent Syrian girls and young women living in Al-Zaatari camp. And the project is we partnered with Professor Helen Story, a famous fashion designer who has dressed Michael Jackson, Madonna, and she is working with these refugees to create fashionable jackets to protect them from the winter.
Do you know, you look at this, I mean, I looked at this and I thought, okay, fashion, there's something a bit more to this, surely. And then I realised that there is much more to this. This is about empowerment, isn't it?
Exactly. So when we met Professor Helen Story because she was in Dubai showcasing this dress called Dress of Our Time, which is a dress. It's a beautiful dress. It's hashtag Dress of Our Time if you want to check it out. And it's created by a refugee tent. And she created this tent to raise awareness. And she bought the dress to Dubai for a humanitarian summit in the springtime. And we met her and we fell in love with her. And she said, listen, I'm working with these girls. They're afraid of the winter. They love fashion. They're, any teenage girls. They want to go to school. They want to learn. They don't really have great access. And I want to teach them about fashion. And we said, this is a perfect opportunity. We make blankets. We make blankets that we sell to the UN. Why don't we just donate some to you and we can create this project?
And it's hard for people at home to maybe imagine, but some of the pictures we've seen of the coats, they're very different in style and they've got lots of different materials. Try and explain what some of these coats look like.
Sure. Yeah. So the blanket material itself is not very beautiful. It's this dark gray fleece material. So if you were to turn on your television to a refugee camp, you would see this blanket. We've sold 4 million last year. They're not that glamorous. And what she's been able to do is, with the young women, is to create a beautiful design. And so you can check out some of the samples that they've created at hashtag Love Coats, but we're actually hoping to bring them to Dubai during Dubai Fashion Week.
Okay, so essentially you're at a point where you can really engage with young girls. As you say, teenage girls love fashion. It's not just teenage girls, to be fair, but in particular, I suppose, teenage girls. So you also get to create an environment that kind of fosters learning. And when you're in a situation like these girls, for example, find themselves in a refugee camp, you're pretty far removed from learning. So it's reinforcing that, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, and about 51% of the world's refugees are kids. They're children.
Yeah.
And education isn't about their right, their hopes. No, it's a lifeline to their future. I mean, it's very, very serious. And the problem is a lot of these young people, they're in camps, they're not in a traditional family setting. So a lot of them maybe don't want to go to school. We partnered with they're called the Tiger Girls, these girls interested in learning because they were fierce about getting an education. And so now we're bringing some cool sort of ideas and topics to the mix.
I remember a few years back, I was in Calais and I went to some of the camps there and spent some time with the young girls. And one of the things that's really important is, yes, you're in a camp, you're surrounded in not so pleasant an area, but you still have pride in how you look and how you feel. And part of this is about getting them to do something constructive and also feeling a bit better about their surroundings and what they look like. They're still teenage girls.
Exactly. Life goes on, right? Even if you're a refugee, life goes on. And the statistics are alarming. So every year today, World Refugee Day, the UN gives out new statistics. So since we've talked for about 3 minutes, 1 out of 20 people have been forcefully displaced. And, I'm not from the UAE. I'm a migrant, right? I'm not a refugee. When I moved to the UAE, I researched it. I knew what I was coming to. These girls didn't know what they were coming to. Often they left at night on alarming situations, not knowing what the future will hold. So this idea of fashion really just being normal teenage girls, it's a great project. And we're really excited to sort of launch it today.
Nicole, you're head of corporate social responsibility at NRS International. Just give us a little bit more about the things that you are involved with, or NRS International do, and some of the programs that you have run or are running.
Sure. So NRS International is the largest manufacturer of core relief items around the world.
Right.
So, but we also realize that doing good is a part of business. It's no longer about just sort of the bottom line. So my team really look at both internal ways that we can sort of bolster the people and the environment, and then around the world. So we've created a foundation. We actually just opened an office at International Humanitarian City, the Belgis Sawar Foundation, and we have schools in Pakistan, hospitals in Pakistan, and we're trying to really do more around the region.
Nicole Malik is Head of Corporate Social Responsibility at the Dubai-based humanitarian relief manufacturer NRS International. It is World Refugee Day 2017 now. Look at #LoveCoats, this project that has kicked off today. Nicole, good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.